I've worked with thousands of families in crisis just like you and caregivers just like you. And when people call our office looking for an elder law attorney, they're drowning in decisions, they're drowning in issues. But the truth is that this first appointment with an elder law attorney is not another burden. It's a moment things finally get clear and get organized. And in this video, I'm going to explain the one appointment that will help unlock and clarify your issues as a caregiver. Let's get started. When people call my office, I'm an elder law attorney. They are not looking for a friendly chit chat. They're looking to get their problem solved, and the problems are usually happening right then. And so when they get told that an elder law attorney is the thing to help you with your problems as a caregiver, it's always during a period of crisis. And so what's happening is, here's a common scenario: is your loved one's in the hospital. You're talking to a social worker. You may be figuring out that you have a new normal on your hands, that your parent can no longer live independently 100%, but something less than that. And so you are talking to the social worker about discharge options, and you're thinking, how can my mom live at home by herself at this point when she can't even do this and this? And so these hard decisions are coming at you fast. You're thinking, hey, where does my mom live? Does she live at my house? If she lives at my house, is it equipped to take care of her? Am I equipped to take care of her? Do I have time to take care of her? Is there other places out there that can help take care of her? What are the other places? Do I need to visit them first to check it out? And so when you're thinking through all these issues, that I just mentioned, you're talking to a lot of professionals who know their piece of the world. Senior care, elder care is looking to help the person that they're talking to. That's why they're doing it. It's geriatrics. We're here to take care of our parents. And so they want to be helpful, but that's the issue. They're in their own little fiefdom and piece of the world. And so when they introduce information to you who have never done this before, generally if you're doing this for your parents or your spouse, you maybe have never done it before. Maybe you did it with your in-laws, or seen it done with your in-laws, or talked to a friend, but you're getting a lot of pieces of information and you don't understand why people do things in this situation, but not that situation. And then when you're talking to the providers, they're going to say, hey, just do this. So your head's spinning from advice world, and maybe you go to AI and then you ask the AI some questions and the AI spits out something different. And so because there are a lot of new conflicting issues and information, you get anxious, you don't know what to do. And so one of the pieces that people will get would be to call an elder law attorney. And so here's what happens at an elder law attorney's appointment. First, you're going to call the office and you're going to learn about the elder law attorney's process. You're going to learn about free consultations, paid consultations, and you're going to figure out which one's right for you in your situation. Sometimes an attorney can't see you for a month or two. Sometimes an attorney can see you the next day. What's the difference? Will you get your answer solved? Who's the proper attorney to help? Do they have the experience level to help? What are you going to even get out of this appointment? So those are the things that run through a lot of people's head at the time of meeting with an elder law attorney. All right, so you have all this stuff going on, and now you're being asked, and when you speak to an elder law attorney's office, that, hey, we have a process and you guys set aside this time to meet with an attorney, and here's how to plan for it. And you're thinking, I got all this stuff going on. I don't know if you even have time for this. So that's a logical thing to think about. And so but the trick is the actions that most attorneys will have you do, elder law attorneys will have you do before the appointment, are actions that'll help you anyway. It's actions that gather the facts to get well organized so that it'll help you identify problems and clarify problems. So as you're gathering information for your appointment, you're going to see your roadblocks. I can't get this. I don't know how to get this. Where's this? What are these people saying? These people are saying this. I don't even know what to make sense of it. So that's why you should prioritize the legal help with an elder law attorney, is because in the process that you're dealing with, you're going to be coming across roadblocks that are the roadblocks that disoriented you. They are the roadblocks that keep you from saying, this, I got to deal with this, instead of talking to the attorneys. But these are the exact problems that elder law attorneys help solve. And so will this appointment make just your life simpler? Yes, because you don't have to wade through issues yourself. So if I were doing home improvement projects, which I'm very bad at, I know how to use ChatGPT. I know how to use YouTube. I can go to Home Depot and Ace Hardware. They're the nicest people in there. But the problem is I've never done it before. And so when I if I get to work and I start studying and I get my tools and I get my materials and I go do the problem and I encounter something, the videos online, the ChatGPTs, they don't have the experience to know that how to handle different varying problems. And you would say fixing a toilet's fixing a toilet. Not always. There's probably many different variables that I can't even understand that go into fixing a toilet. And just like your elder care situation, there's many different variables that come into play. And if you're just clouded and don't know what to do, that's what's going to make things simpler, is because a elder law attorney who thinks strategically about your caregiving situation will say, this is the priority, that is not your priority. And they'll greater frame your issues. This is the issue, not this is the issue. This issue is distracting you and getting you all upset when the real issue is this. Wouldn't you agree? And there's usually a conversation around in that appointment to help clarify the real problems and put things in priority. Now, the prep. So when you're doing any kind of initial call with an attorney, the prep that you're going to be asked for is things about your loved one, their care situation, your current state, your time constraints. If you're working full time and also raising children, and now you have your care planning issue and you need help with, that's a good piece of information for the attorney to know how much time you have to address your caregiving issues. And then prepping for the appointment, when you're gathering the stuff, you're saying, I got to get bank statements. I don't even know how to get bank statements. Oftentimes, a good elder law attorney will tell you what to bring. If you're paying for advice, they'll tell you exactly what to bring to have a useful appointment. But oftentimes, it could be a 10-hour project. My recommendation is have that 10-hour project by being well organized in the first place, but that's not how we always live. My garage, when we first moved in, we could park a car into it. Now we can't park a car into it because adding things to your shelves over time, adding things over there here in that space, it just over time, it's just, it gets away from you. And yes, the appointment, the gathering of the documents will take time. And in most cases, this is a question to ask any kind of attorney support team before you meet with the attorney, is like, how much information is expected out of me before this appointment? So if they're not asking for the information, that's a red flag. You should be asked to bring information so you get value out of the appointment, because otherwise you're guessing and you're giving the attorney bad information. So they're guessing, or they're giving you vague parameters, large parameters. But ultimately, if they say, hey, do the best you can, and if you can't get it, bring that issue to the attorney meeting. That's what the elder law attorneys do, is they solve those appointments. So this is an appointment that will help rewrite your to-do list that's swirling through your head. The other issue with the elder law appointment when you're working with the attorney is you do not typically know what the future holds. And so that's one of the things that even holds you back from attending to the appointment. And what's the best indicator of the future in your situation? Somebody who's done it before, and somebody who knows your situation and can anticipate and say, I've seen this scenario 30 different times and I've seen it play out, and this is how it typically plays out. It's good information. That's settling information. Okay, this is how it normally plays out. Makes you feel okay. So let's now move to what the meeting is going to look like. When you first call in to the attorney's office, if you get an attorney who's an elder law attorney who's offering a free consultation, it's going to be much different than working with an attorney who is going to be offering a paid consultation. The attorney offering a paid consultation will likely have you speaking with a non-attorney staff member to get organized on the call, and for the purposes of the meeting with the attorney. If you're speaking on a free consultation with an attorney, or a receptionist who's going to schedule you with a free consultation with an attorney, that process is going to look different. Here's why. So when you're looking for elder law or estate planning advice from an attorney, for the very first meeting with the attorney, that should be the deliverable. The attorney's experience is going to deliver you a strategy to approach your problem. Now, if the attorney that you're talking to is saying, sounds like you need my help is going to cost X, That's typical of a free consultation. And if you say, you didn't ask about this, you didn't cover this, I was expecting you to cover this, but you didn't ask about it. That package of services, not saying good or bad, that's what they're selling. Now, and if you say, I don't know if that's for me, I don't know if I can benefit from this, I've only had 30 minutes with the attorney. And if you feel like your time is limited to get that package, it's because you need more of a consultative sales process or consultative meeting and a strategic meeting to deliver you what you actually need if you don't feel like the package that you received from an attorney is what you need. Most times on the free consultations, the attorney is going to be looking at, can I sell a package of services? So a lot of the business models, not saying good or bad, I'm just explaining what you were looking for, will say, okay, you need a revocable living trust to solve this problem, and here's the package for that. And what the attorney is thinking is, if I have X amount of number of appointments, some are going to say yes, some are going to say no, but it's a numbers game. I'm just going to meet with as many people as possible for free. And if I meet with 3 people and one says yes, then the hour and a half that I do for free is worth the one person that will say yes, because I'm charging high enough to say yes. They're not really. So in those free consultations with attorneys, what you're not going to be going into is any kind of in-depth discussion about your problems. The dialogue is going to be, you have questions, they will give you a short answer with a short explanation. And if it's vague, it's because you need actual services. And what you're asking for is the actual legal service. If you say, oh, they didn't answer my question, it's because they don't have good information from you if you do not prepare them accordingly. So when I come into meetings without information, and you are going to come out of the meeting saying the attorney says this, that's the service that I got from the attorney. We know we could be liable for what we say. And so most attorneys will not just give you answers to say, okay, go and do this. And there is going to be something being sold on a free consultation, or else they wouldn't meet with you. And if the attorney cannot, or you don't have a problem that the attorney can solve in that free consultation time and make clear to you that the value in that free consultation time, you've just spent time with an attorney where nothing's going to happen, your questions are not being answered, and now you have to keep on looking for an attorney. So the paid attorney consult, on the other hand, the first conversation you're going to have in most attorneys' offices is going to be parameters. You may not even be aware of like how attorneys work who don't give free consultations, because we've sat here for the last 30 years watching personal injury attorneys saying, you don't pay anything unless we win it. And that's a contingency fee agreement. Elder law attorneys, estate planning attorneys, business attorneys, immigration attorneys, family law attorneys, a lot of attorneys do not charge on contingency, and how they run their offices. And so you need to understand the exchange of actual advice in exchange for money. And so for the attorney paid consultation, that should be what is happening, is you should be explaining your goals at the beginning of the appointment and explaining your situation. Then the attorney that you're meeting with is going to ask you questions to clarify what you've said and to clarify the issue that you've come to that attorney for that day. And then the attorney is going to propose any number of solutions, could be 1, could be 3, given your scenario and your goals. And they're going to explain, the attorney should be explaining the principles around your issues. And it should be extremely relevant and extremely helpful to have that context of the law to your issues. And then you're going to listen and say, what if this? What if that? What if we did this? I thought this. Somebody told me this. I went on ChatGPT and Google and they told me this. Explain. The attorney should freely be able to explain that information, because when you go on a Google search or an AI search, the AI is not going to know the complete context. The AI is going to be trained on generic information, which may not be perfectly tailored to your situation. And so this iterative process of going back and forth between the attorney about your proposed solutions and what fits your scenario, that's the legal deliverable. And so in the elder law context, that meeting should be self-contained, and you should get value out of that meeting. And that's why it's a good use of time, because you'll say after that meeting, you say, I need this and this to protect assets. I need to do this and this to talk to my parents about this so they can now take care of the next thing. And so that is what the appointment does. That's the value of the appointment. And then once you leave that deliverable, you may have a package to pay for in that paid consultation, or that paid consultation should be self-contained. So as you're conducting your first introductory calls when calling an elder law attorney, whether you're calling down a list, talking to their offices, keep that in mind. If you're thinking in more terms of big package solutions, then the free consultation with the attorney or the free consultation with a non-attorney can typically give you clarity about whether you are going to get help from a immediate package. But if it's very unclear about what you're needing help with, or you just have a whole litany of issues, that's where a paid consultation is going to be of value. Just paying for an attorney's time for saying, here's my situation, here's all the things on top of my head, help me address my problems that I'm experiencing right now. And then after that, most likely, that package could be there of needs, but it may not be there. It may be just self-contained. In my office, we do start with a paid consultations. You will be talking with a non-attorney beforehand. I view that as the best approach to get people exactly what they need. I recently had a conversation with somebody who during a free consultation with an attorney said that the attorney talked about his personal family the entire time, and she felt like she didn't communicate her problems, and the attorney was thinking in terms just of immediate packaged deliverables, and the client who became our client did not know where any of these pieces fit. The attorney viewed their services as a document production service or document delivery services, not a larger picture of what this legal document production, this application, this process fits into all the pieces. And so if you have any questions about any kind of legal attorney process, if you're seeing this video, you may not be in the state of Florida, so I cannot even help you. Please comment below and be glad to answer questions about how law firms, specifically elder law firms, work. Thanks for watching.